reforms. And in the United States, a new phase that we happen to be in right now began to open in the 1970s, really took off in the 80s with Ronald Reagan here, and Thatcher in England. There were major changes in the economy, related changes. The one was an enormous growth of financialization of the economy, and along with it, a decline in production here. Production was offshore. And the two, Mexico, China, Vietnam, Bangladesh, horrendous working conditions, harsh repression, which is very good for profit. For the masters here, manipulating, playing games with money, quick speculative financial transactions was a lot more profitable than producing things that people could use. And that set off within the United States a vicious cycle. The first concentration of wealth, increasingly in the financial sector, reached extraordinary proportions by a couple of years ago, right before the latest crash. Still is about 40% of corporate profits were in financial institutions in 2007. A concentration of wealth leads to concentration of political power. That in turn leads to legislation, which extends the concentration of wealth. That's the vicious cycle. It still goes on. Among other devices were deregulation, which led to regular financial crises during the golden age, the 50s and 60s. There were no financial crises. New Deal legislation was still in place. Banks were banks, not places where they concoct exotic schemes to rob people. But that started with the Reagan years. Early Reagan years started the first crashes and went on to get worse each time. And all that's fine for the masses. They nurture a powerful nanny state for their interests, and they can rely on it to bail them out time after time. So there's a cycle of risky transactions, which are therefore profitable, a lot of profit, then collapse, and then a bailout. It sets off a doom loop, in the words of the official of the Bank of England, who's responsible for financial stability.